Imagine finding out the one person you trusted the most was sleeping with someone who was supposed to protect you. And what if that someone wasn't just any man, but your teacher? This is the story of Emily Carter, a girl who uncovered the kind of betrayal that shatters families and ignites a revenge no one saw coming. Emily Carter grew up in a small, quiet suburban neighborhood. On the outside, her family looked like the picture of happiness. Her father, Michael Carter, was a dedicated accountant who worked long hours but always made time for Sunday dinners. Her mother, Laura, was elegant, charming, and the kind of woman people admired at PTA meetings. Emily wasn't loud like her brother Jake, who was off at college making her parents proud. Instead, she kept to herself, studying, drawing in her sketchbook, and writing stories that only she ever read. But like every perfect picture, there were cracks. Emily often felt invisible, overshadowed by her brother, and she noticed how her parents' laughter had faded over the years, replaced with tense silences and fake smiles. And then there was Mr. Hayes, her English teacher. He was the kind of teacher everyone liked. Handsome, sharp suits, and a way of speaking that made even Shakespeare feel exciting. He encouraged Emily's writing more than anyone ever had. She admired him deeply, too deeply maybe. But admiration turned to disgust the night she saw something she wasn't supposed to. It was late. Emily had stayed after school to finish a project. The halls were empty, echoing with silence. As she walked past the teacher's lounge, she heard laughter, familiar laughter. She peeked through the small glass window of the door. What she saw froze her. Her mother, sitting on the couch, laughing, with Mr. Hayes. And then, he kissed her. Emily's breath caught in her throat. Her hands shook as she stumbled backward, her mother and her teacher, together. It felt like her world shattered in one moment. That night at dinner, Emily couldn't even look at her mother. She wanted to scream, to throw the truth on the table like a grenade, but instead, she stared at her plate while Laura asked, "So how's school?" with that perfect smile. Emily knew she had to tell someone. At first, she thought about telling her brother, but Jake was miles away at college, unreachable. Then she thought about going straight to her father, but how do you tell a man his wife is cheating with a teacher? So Emily made a choice. She confronted Mr. Hayes. After class the next day, she stayed behind. Her heart pounded as she walked up to his desk. "I know about you and my mom," she whispered. For a moment, his confident smile faltered. But then he leaned back in his chair, calm, collected. "Emily," he said smoothly, "you don't understand. Your mother and I, we have feelings. Adults are complicated." "Complicated?" Emily's voice shook with fury. "You're my teacher. You're supposed to protect me, not—" He cut her off, leaning forward. "If you say anything, do you know what will happen? Your family will be destroyed. Your father will leave. People will blame you for exposing it. Do you want that on your shoulders?" Emily's throat closed. He was threatening her, manipulating her, but instead of scaring her into silence, it made her angrier. That night, Emily couldn't hold it in anymore. She went to her father. She expected tears, rage, maybe disbelief. But instead, Michael Carter looked at her quietly. Then he said, "I know." Emily blinked. "You... what?" Her father's eyes were cold, harder than she had ever seen them. "I've known about your mother and Daniel Hayes for months. Do you think I didn't notice the late nights? The excuses?" Emily's chest tightened. "Then, why haven't you done anything?" Michael leaned closer, his voice low. "Because I'm not stupid, Emily. Revenge is best when it's patient. And when it hurts the most, the next week, things seemed normal on the surface. Her mother still kissed her father on the cheek before leaving for errands. Mr. Hayes still taught Hamlet with that charming smile. But Emily noticed little changes. Her father making secret phone calls, a cold look in his eyes whenever Laura laughed at the dinner table. And then, everything came crashing down during parent-teacher night. Parents gathered in the gym. Mr. Hayes stood at the front giving a speech about integrity in education. The whole town admired him. But then, Michael Carter stood up. "I'd like to say something," he said, his voice steady. He pulled out a folder. Inside were photographs, emails, messages between Laura and Mr. Hayes, evidence. He had hired a private investigator months ago. The gym fell silent as Michael read aloud, "Daniel Hayes, a teacher entrusted with our children, has been sleeping with one of his students' mothers, my wife."